Good morning. And today's going to be Pocket Jacks. We are in early position again, 10 NL, open raising range. This should be the range that we're playing. King 9's kind of interesting that we have it there. Jack 9's kind of interesting. And that's over these small pocket pairs. I think I probably would add them in. Probably not like ace 2, ace 3. But I think I'd probably play this range. Folds around, big blind calls. Big blind's playing 23-13. I've got 258 hands. We've got overcalls, over limps. We've got 3-bet ranges, aces, tens. Overall, it looks like he's playing 30-something% in the big blind, 35% VPIP for the big blind. His 3-bet stats only 1% here from the big blind. Overall is 4%, 3 out of 84. So not a massive sample. So I put together this is 31%. Took out kings plus ace king. I assume he's 3-bet. This is still kind of a little small, a little narrow. So maybe we could run like queen 9, jack 9, 10 9, 9 7. Those offsuits kind of get up to 35%, but these are going to be the ranges that we go for. Flop comes out king queen 4 with 2 diamonds. Definitely hits our range. This is something like right in our wheelhouse here, and we are in position, so that's always a positive. Villain 7 checks. I assume he's going to check here. I think we are going to be c-betting. Our range is so much better than this player's. You can see just on this range 61 to 38. So yeah, we have advantage. We've got nut advantage here. We have the kings, all the queens. I don't think he does. We've got ace king. I don't think he does. King queen. We both have. We could have straights and so forth. So with being in position, I think we're looking at probably firing a large percentage of our hands. So right there, that is draws. I think let's see here, flush draw. Our gut shots, ace jack, ace 10. I think those includes our backdoor. I think we'd probably be betting some of these smaller pairs. Pocket pair less than the second card. I think these are going to be bluffs. Middle pair is probably a little bit for value. Although if we get called with, by middle pair, really we're going to have kicker issues, especially if we have like queen jack, queen 10. Really queen 10 probably is the only one. So maybe not all of them are bluffing range, but I'd probably do backdoor flush draw, probably just 100% here, really. Think we're in position. Villain's folding, and it's kind of interesting. 67% when he's in position, 25% when out of position. So he's been out of position many more times and he's folded less. That's kind of interesting. So I bet, what's my bet sizing? We could probably go down to 2. Go a little bit lower, maybe 2.5. Yeah, or somewhere around there. I'm trying to think. Can I bet 2.5 and 10 and 0? I think so. That's 25 cents. So yeah, maybe about 2.5 could be worth it. Villain calls. So what is he calling with? He's not folding, so I'm going to say he's probably calling with most of these pairs. Middle pair plus. I can't imagine he's calling with the pocket pair less than the second card. I do think he's calling flush draws. Maybe he calls the gut shots as well. Calls with them once. It kind of explains why he doesn't fold as much. So 50% of hands, I think, is what he's going to be calling with. turns to 3. That's a pretty safe card, is what I would imagine. I expect villain to check, so if I bet what hands is he going to fold, I don't think he's going to fold flush draw. I don't think he's folding the open ender, so I would expect him to be calling with at least top pair plus, that's 48%. If we throw in the middle pair hands, it's 71.2%. So it drops down to 30%, and it's really kind of this middle pair. Is he going to fold middle pair, or is he going to call all the way with it? That's a good question. What does he do with it? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say on a second barrel, he's probably going to fold those. If I skip the second barrel, then it's going to give him reason to call. So because of that, I think when we bet, we're going to have to include some hands that beat those queens, because we'll get value from them on the river. I think we bet our sets. I think we bet our 2 pairs. I think an overpair could be a decent checking hand. Let's move that to a checking hand. Top pair, I think we can get value from ace king, but I think maybe like king 9, king 10 could be checking as well. I think our draws, we continue with our flush, we continue with our open ender. And I think we're going to probably need to continue with our gut shot as well. Probably not all of them. Again, definitely if we've got a combo flush draw and straight draw, I think we're gonna favor those. It's like ace. I mean, we've got straight draw on with ace 5. I mean, we go with those. We've got ace 10, ace jack. Wow, those are all of them. Yeah, man, those are all of them. So the flush draw like 7, 8. That doesn't really have. Yeah, 7, 8, 8, 9. Those could all be checked. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna check those. King 9, ace 9. So that way our checks aren't all like weak pairs. We still have draws that we can connect with. If a diamond comes and villain bets out, we raise. He probably calls. I think that happened to me yesterday. I had a gut shot. I checked it because that's all I had. I didn't have like a flush draw to go along with it. I hit the gut shot. Sure enough, he bets. I raised to a little more than 3x his bet. He calls. He like insta calls there. Just wish, I wonder if I could have gotten more from that. But anyways, so we've got our bets here, our barrels. That's 36%, 37%. I think we check these pairs, check all the rest, and go from there. So he checks, and the reason we've got these is that I mean, we're going for value with these hands, with these top pair hands, because I do think he's going to have some top pairs. He's going to have some draws. We're going to get some value from those. Obviously, if he check raises, we're probably in against a set, maybe a 2 pair. That 2 pair would probably be the weakest that we have, but we get some value for these, and with our check, we're protecting our checking range with some of these hands. River's a 2 of diamonds. Not really what I wanted to see. I don't think that's really what I wanted to see. Oops. I did check, so let's get these. Okay. It's a flush draw. open ender, gut shots. All right. So now 2 diamonds. Now we have it. Villain still has basically 100% of his range that was on the turn. If villain bets, I think we are looking at probably calling our top pair plus. I hate to see it. I mean, he could have the diamond, but you know how we played it. We're opening up the possibility of him leading into us. So I think we'd be forced to call. He checks. So then the next question is, okay, if I bet, what does he call? I do think he's going to call with a middle pair at this point. So middle pair plus. I don't think he's calling with any of these. So he's calling 63.6% of the hands. Of the times that he calls, you know, over 50% of them, it will be 60%, right? 24, 36. Yep, 60% of the hands he's going to be top pair or worse. So we have to kind of consider that. I do think we bet top pair for value. I think we bet over pair for value. I think maybe we can get some value from ace with ace queen. I mean, that's just barely. What are we gonna bluff with? That's the question. So nothing. 7, 8, 9, 8. I think it's definitely possible to be bluffing those. We don't have anything. If we get called, we're beat. We've got maybe some showdown value with ace high, maybe some weak pair hands. That's about it. I think everything else, we've got some showdown value hand here with middle pair and the pocket pairs. And you know, I don't think we're not going to be folding out anything that we really want to fold out with those hands. Whereas here, I mean, the weak pair is kind of a bluff too. Ace high, nothing. We're going to be folding out, you know, other ace high hands that probably have us beat, and the nothing hands that have us beat. So yeah, I'm going to say weak pair is still a check. And maybe even ace high. Maybe that's it. It's just our bluffing range. So I check behind. I think that's appropriate with our middle pair, because I don't think we're getting the folds that we need to. Not with our jacks hands. Villain shows king 10. Is that in his range? Yeah, it's in there. We have it, top pair. So definitely in there. I think we could have lost a little bit more by being a little bit more aggressive, but I think that's what. I think this is what we need to do. So what we can do is kind of go back. I'm going to take a note on this player. Yeah, so overcall, early position 2, that's me. When the small blind, he's in the big blind with queen jack diamonds, out of position, check all 52%, check all 50%, check on queen 7-5, king 9. So he called with queen jack on flop and turn with so top pair, and then he called again on the turn. Overcall and big blind with ace jack versus early position and button call. So I think what we'll do is call EP2 RF53 big blinds in big blind with king spade 10 hearts. He's out of position. Check call 50%. Check on king clubs, queen of diamonds, 4 diamonds, 3 spades, 2 diamonds. All right, we've got that. I think what we're going to do is go back to the turn and investigate our. Go back to the turn and investigate our decision, check decision. So put this into GTO. Checking just all the way through. And then we have 3 of spades. It's 3 spades. Villain should be betting 74 or checking 75%. So he checks, and now it's on us. We're betting. These middle pairs are checks, and we're right. looks like our queens are going to be checking hands. I was wrong. We're supposed to bet over pairs. We've got ace queen as a check, ace jack as a check. It looks like almost all of our top pairs are betting. We do have some checks with our top pairs. That's to kind of help balance, keep our checking range suitable. But our middle pairs are and our weak pairs definitely checks. Got three of a kind, twos. Flush draws are mostly bets. We do have some that are checks, like ace jack. My guess was that the non-straight draws were going to be checks. So like king nine. Well, king nine has a pair. Ace nine, I assume would be a check. But they're using like 9/8's a check. 7/8 is mostly a check. Okay. So I think 7/8, 9/8's mostly a check. They're using jack 10 as a check. Ooh, straight and flush draw. And that's like 100%. I guess to avoid getting check raised. Yeah, so we bet, he raises. We're calling, we're re-raising three of a kind. We still call with some of our flush draws though. So in any case, yeah, it looks like we are. It's 2 diamonds, oops. Does look like we played the turn okay. Villain checks now on the river. Again, middle pairs, looks like we're checking ace high, we're checking no made hands. Those hands that don't really have anything, we benefit by getting folds. So that kind of makes sense on our river play. Definitely on our river play. So I think we did okay on this hand. Was there going to be any way for us to win it? I don't think so. I think it was just basically, it was a decent flop for our hand, but villain outflopped us, and that's about it. So hopefully you enjoy this hand. If you do, look tomorrow for another one.